Welcome everybody to another episode of Beyond the Bell podcast. Today we are meeting a special guest that has done something extraordinary and out of the ordinary for your 17-year-old. I'm Flynn Drew and this is
Sonny Haywood.
And welcome to our second episode of Beyond the Bell podcast.
Let's meet Sam Sieracki, a 17-year-old West Australian who recently achieved a remarkable Guinness World Record by solving a Rubik's Cube in a mere 28.25 seconds while free-falling from an aeroplane at around 200 kilometres per hour, all at 14,000 feet. Sam's journey was nothing short of intense, battling the noise and the wind during the freefall while maintaining his focus on the cube. What makes this story even more astonishing is that Sam's ground record for solving the Rubik's Cube is a staggering 6.5 seconds. How'd you do this, Sam?
Well, it took a lot of practice. So I've been speed cubing since about 2017 now, entering competitions whenever I can. And yeah, there have been countless hours of practice. I think my first competition, I averaged around 30 seconds to solve the Rubik's Cube. And then, yeah, over the years, I've just gotten better and better to the point where I can solve it in less time than that whilst skydiving, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, wow, that's good.
Can you describe the moment when you broke the Guinness World Record? Like, what were you feeling and what was it like?
It was really exciting because it was my 5th attempt. And the thing is, one of the guidelines in the Guinness World Record was that you need to use a new cube for every attempt. So I needed to order 5 Rubik's Cubes to do the attempt. So when I got down to my last one, it was pretty nerve-wracking because that was my last chance to get it right. Otherwise, I'd have to wait a couple more weeks to get some more cubes and then hope the weather was good when they finally arrived. But yeah, so when I finally broke it, it was a huge relief, and especially because I was counting on all the people around me to video the attempt and get witness statements and all that. So it was a relief for me, and it was a relief for everyone else as well.
That's awesome. Amazing. So it says that, it's quite intense during the jump. How is it skydiving and solving a Rubik's Cube at the same time?
Yeah, the main thing is it's really loud. I mean, you've got 200 kilometers an hour of wind in your face, so it's super loud and windy as well. Obviously, on the ground there's no wind, so you can just hold onto the cube. You can do more finger tricks and stuff to turn it faster. You can kind of flip it around in your hands. In the sky, if you're not holding onto it super tight, it's going to fly out of your hands. So yeah, that was the hardest part of it. Having all that noise, it's really distracting, trying to stay stable and not drop the cube.
You have a passion for both speed cubing and skydiving. How did you first get into these two activities, and what inspired you to do so?
For speed cubing, I was in, I think, about year 3, and it was more just something I picked up to impress my friends and everything. I had an unsolved Rubik's Cube, and it'd been sitting in the on the cupboard for a while and unsolved. It was annoying me, so I figured out how to solve it, brought it to school. Everyone was pretty impressed. And from there, I just wanted to figure out how to do it faster. So I learned new techniques, new algorithms. And yeah, I just got faster and faster. And then skydiving, I've been wanting to do it since I was about 12, but you have to be 16 to get your solo license. So I was hanging out for that. I did a few tandem jumps. I did 3 leading up to my 16th birthday. And then when I finally turned 16, I went up to Jurien Bay, did the course, and I learned to skydive.
Wow, that's awesome. In the article done by the ABC, it's mentioned that you are now up to 80 jumps in your second year of skydiving. What are your future goals or aspirations for the world of skydiving?
At the moment, I'm just focusing on improving my skills with each jump, learning to jump with other people, make formations and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of technique involved in it, so I've still got a lot of learning to do. But in the future, I'd definitely like to be a tandem instructor and take people on tandem skydives. I think that'd be an awesome job. Maybe not full-time because it doesn't pay too well, but it would be pretty fulfilling, I think.
That's good.
Well, because you've broken that record, how does it feel to be a Guinness World Record holder? What does this accomplishment mean to you?
It feels amazing. I've always wanted to have a world record. I think when I was in primary school, probably year 1 or 2 or something, I made lots of paper cranes, origami paper cranes. And I really wanted a world record, so I was like, I might try to make the smallest paper crane. So I made a little paper crane, submitted it to Guinness World Records, and then they rejected it because obviously I didn't read the guidelines. I didn't know what evidence I needed to submit and everything. It was more just a little kid trying to have a go. But yeah, so now being almost 18, about to graduate, and I finally been able to accomplish that dream. It feels really cool.
Can you share any advice for young people that, you know, aspire to achieve unique things like this and challenging records or combine their passions?
I think just not giving up. I mean, if you really want to do something enough, then you can do it. I never would have thought I'd be solving the Rubik's Cube when I jump out of planes. When I first started to solve Rubik's Cubes, not even something that popped into my head. I didn't even know when I started learning how to skydive, I couldn't even stay stable. It was really difficult. So to think that I could focus on doing something else completely different at the same time, So just stick with it. Don't give up.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time, Sam. Really appreciate that.
Me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope you get some awesome jumps in the future.
Thank you very much. Cheers.